Hi everyone, welcome along to the SFC interviews here with Efe Sodje. Shall I call you Efe or shall I call you Efe Toba? How do you want to be? Just Efe Sodje, all right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's my name.
All right, so I don't know if to shorten it or whether you wanted it in full, but anyway, we'll get into it now. And you signed for Stevenage back in, was it 1994? And, do you remember when you signed for the club and what it was like to, come in under Paul Fairclough as well?
Yeah, I did. It was 1994 because I had trials with Wimbledon and Millwall first. Then I left from Wimbledon. Yeah, that was it. Then I went to Luton. Then it was David Pleat that
Okay.
spoke to. He spoke to me and he said I had issues with some clearance because I just came from Nigeria then, and that he wanted me to go to a lower league club, then play one year or 2 years before, I get into the football league. And I did go. Then I went to Stevenage. After the first year, I knew David Plitt came in for me when he was then manager for Sheffield Wednesday.
Right.
But Stevenage refused.
And do you remember the conversations that you had with Paul Fairclough at all? And what was it sort of like working under him as well?
Yeah, Paul from day one. Paul was very like a father figure. So I got very close with Paul, very well with his family, his two daughters, his wife. They were really little kids then. So the conversation was simple. It was like he liked. I trained with them, and he just liked the way I trained and everything. And he would say, "You're a bit raw, but I can work with you." And that was the story, And it was advising me every time we played and everything. Yeah, it was very good.
And of course, during that season, you played alongside Mark Smith as well, and the likes of Richard Nugent was in there as well.
Yeah.
And, that partnership. What was that partnership like to be involved? In particular, Mark Smith, somebody that went on and had such a mainstay at the club.
It's so funny. Funny enough, Mark called me today. Actually, was it today? Yeah, he rang. No, sorry, he rang me yesterday.
Right.
He lives in Spain now, so
yeah.
But he rang me yesterday. The partnership with me and Mark was just it was really, really good. We not just on the pitch, because we all went out together as well off the pitch. So it was good understanding between us, and we always knew that we were always going to fight for each other. So, but then again, I think we were like the top fastest center defenders in the league then. So we were confident about ourselves.
And with Mark, that's he was somebody that was brought in originally as a striker and then changed to a centre back, wasn't he? So that's quite something that you don't really see too often, where a player starts further up the pitch and then works their way back.
Yeah, so Campbell did that, but I used to say to Mark, I always say to people, I said, I can't believe that you tried to claim that you could be a striker. You know what I mean? So, and it was proper defender, real solid, real good defender. Yeah.
And the next one is a question here that you scored your first Stevenage goal against Yeovil in a 5-0 victory, and how important was that to get your first goal, but also to get a clean sheet alongside it as well?
Was it Yeovil? Or my debut was against Welling, wasn't it?
The debut, yeah.
My debut was against Welling. Yeah. Oh no, it was great, because you have to remember that then I didn't really know all the clubs, because I just came from Nigeria, so the whole experience was totally different, because I remember we go to games and we have to drive on the same day, come back the same day. You couldn't really you can't stay in a hotel, so it was long nights, and it was in the changing room when I would look at players, and you get some players the way they prepare themselves to try and psych themselves up before a game, and it was so shocking and amazing when people was out screaming, come on, and I was thinking, what's wrong with them? Are these guys all right? Or
So, is that very, very different over here in England to what it was like playing in Nigeria then? Was that a main difference?
Yeah, 100%, totally different. Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And of course, as I said there, that was a 5-0 victory. And, what was more important for you? Obviously, getting a goal and getting the 3 points, or getting the clean sheet as well. Obviously, from a defenders, you got the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, I loved. Well, I love scoring goals. But mainly it was that it was the victory. Winning. The main game itself, and when you get the clean sheet, and it's like, yeah, we're on form, and which was very, very good for us.
And of course, let's have a look here. In that season, we went on to achieve quite a lot of back-to-back clean sheets as well. And then, getting through, I think it was up until the FA Trophy without conceding a goal. And, what was it about that team that kind of, that was obviously the team before the year that we went on and got promotion. Was it kind of just setting itself up ready for the next season?
Yeah, you can say part of it was like that. But really, to be fair, the team itself, because you have to remember, we only train twice a week.
Yeah.
Right? And that twice a week, we had to have, that bond with every player. So there were different, everybody had their different set of people that they moved around with. But on the training time, it was just all about banter, and it was really, really, really solid. Right? So we were ready to die for each other. That was how it was back in then. And then it's not like the VAR now, but then we could really do bad tackles, set people up, doing a lot of things what we had to do. But we grinded it out. We grinded it out, each of us, yeah.
And of course, the next question really, or the next point, is regards to that season as well, where we went on and we were so successful in that season, going through to winning the title. And then of course, from a playing perspective, you've done everything that you can do, only to get the bad news, obviously, that we can't go up. So that would have been heartbreaking, I'm sure.
Oh, listen. I think we knew, is it halfway the season that the law came out to say that they had to build, the extension of the or more seats and everything like that.
In the stadium, yeah.
But what Paul, the manager then, Paul was saying to us was like, listen, that's nothing to do with us, right? That the administration part is not to do with us. We have to deal with the figure on the pitch.
Yeah.
And he said, we deal with what we have to do, and we do what we have to do, right? Then whatever happens, right? The fans know who to go after, nothing to do with us. But we did our job, because you have to remember, the fans were, it's not easy. The fans were paying a lot of money, paying money to come and watch and everything like that. And that's what the fans wanted. They wanted to see the passion and entertainment, right? So obviously, Paul bringing a good team together, we came out and thought, okay, you know what, we can do this. And obviously, when we were going on, we thought, getting there. Then you get to when it gets to the last 15 games, they start doing the calculations and everything like that. And it was like, we can do this. And we're like, stuff it. We were going away. Then we used to go away matches, because we had, I think Stevenage had one of the best away fans support.
Yeah.
Because I think we used to go away and to away games, and we used to get about 2,000 people from Stevenage.
Yeah, which is great. That's great to take that many fans, yeah.
Yeah, thinking it's like a home game. So they were like the 12th man, you know what I mean? And we were like, you know what? The players were like, oh, listen, we're playing at home or away, we can beat anybody. Yeah. And let's be honest, the fear was into the other teams, because when they see the bunch of Stevenage fans coming, it's like, what? Because if they don't come, they've got only 400 in the ground. But Stevenage were like coming full out. And we thought, listen, if they're going to spend their money like this, then we as players, we just have to make sure that we go out and do our job, which we did. But it was, as you said, how did we feel? Listen, when you have all that hard work and everything, and you just like, it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Right? It's not your fault. And it's not like we just cleaned the league by 1 point or whatever, We
won it by quite a margin, yeah.
We won it by quite a mile, and not just win it, we played well, we got entertainment and everything like that. Then come down to the final day, oh, sorry, you're not going anywhere. It was like, whoa. It was really bad. It was bad, yeah.
And of course, when the club actually finally managed to get up into the Football League, I'm sure that's something that when you look back on that as well, I know, you weren't playing at that time for the club, but I'm sure, you know, when you saw that, it's kind of a bittersweet moment to have Stevenage back as a league club where, you know, we probably should have been for a number of years beforehand.
Oh, listen. It was that. I think then. What year was that when they went up? They went.
It was like
2000.
2011, 2012, there or
Yeah,
thereabouts.
2000, yeah. I was always watching. You know, I will play. Then the next results, right, that I will do, I will watch. Look for Stevenage results.
Yeah.
Then I will look for the because I play when I left Stevenage. Obviously, I played for 10 clubs afterwards. You know, so I will always look at the clubs that I played for.
Yeah.
And but Stevenage was always there. Then I remember when the season that they were coming up, I was like, yes, they're gonna do it. Yes, I was never I never bet, so I couldn't really go into say I want to make a bet. But I was like, wow, if I could bet, I was like, no, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. You know, it was that close. It was that close, and I was like, yeah, when they did it, it was amazing. Honestly, it was. You know, I felt joy about it. You know, it was really joyful because I remember we could have done it ourselves, but it didn't happen. But thank God they did.
And of course, we'll touch on the fact that obviously, you know, in that side when you were playing, there was the likes of Barry Hales that you were playing alongside as well. And you know, Barry was another fantastic player as well, like yourself, who's gone on and achieved, you know, quite a lot in the game.
Yeah, I spoke to him today actually. We're trying to do something with an ex-player of ours. That you know, yeah. So, but no, it was crazy. But our strike force was mad. You know, because we had Gary Croshaw, we had Corey Brown.
Yeah,
Barry was there, but you know,
was Martin there? Was Martin Gittings there as well?
Yes, Martin Gittings. That's that's what we were talking about today. Me and Barry were speaking about Martin Gittings today. Yeah,
because obviously he's you know, he was fantastic as well. He's still the all-time top goal scorer at the club.
Yeah. He's a solid. He was strong. It was really, really strong. But you know, as you said with Barry, we both moved to go really far. But because me and Barry, we were close on the, you know, going to Steve because we both lived near each other when we were in London. Because we lived in London because Barry was living in Brixton and I was living in Catford. So we came in together. We're always coming in together to training. We jump on the train and just come over, and so that's how close we were. And if like so when in training Paul never wanted us to play against each other.
Okay.
In training most of the time because it was like he was a main striker, and for me it's like I'm playing as one of the first team defenders, so you're not going nowhere. So it was always crunch, everything like that. And
so you very much would train as if you were playing a game, yeah.
Oh no! Listen, that was how we were in Stevenage. It was literally how we playing in the match. That's what we did in training. Right. Sometimes Paul will have to try and stop it. Yeah. To ease it because it was honestly it was crazy. Because everybody wanted to play, right? And and that's why you could see how the standard was when we got our promotion and everything. You know, but for Barry, he went on to play for Fulham. Obviously went to Bishop Rovers from Stevenage. From Stevenage. Then when he went to Fulham, he just scored goals as much as he liked. Because I moved on to Macclesfield and we always played against each other. When he was at Plymouth, I played with him. I was at Crewe, you know. Yeah. So when everywhere he moved to, we always played against each other. Yeah, and he never liked it.
And of course, you know, you had a battle a couple of times against Stevenage as well. Obviously, you know, in more sort of recent years upon leaving the club, and you know, what's that like? Obviously, going back to the Broadhall Way and playing against Stevenage, it's, you know, surely still a very difficult place to go and play.
Oh, it was always difficult when you know, playing at home at Broadway. Then obviously we played when I was at Bury. We played.
That's right. Yeah.
Because when we beat that game, we got promotion. We're already getting our promotion and everything. But it was nice because obviously the fans were they were right behind me anyway. And even when sometimes when you go to some games and you leave the club, they're going to start booing you and everything like that. But I never got that, you know. But then again, if they did boo me, they knew that what was coming because I definitely win the game anyway. So
you'd use that as a motivational tool, yeah.
Oh yeah. If you like, if you want to boo me, that's you're wasting your time, because that's when I was I laugh about it, and I'll let you guys know at the end of the day.
It helps you perform. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yes.
And then obviously we touched on Barry and Martin Gittins there, and some of the other players. And in the second season, the season that we got promoted, we started off against Hitchin as well. When those local derbies against Hitchin, what were they like? Because I only really know them as pre-season friendlies. I don't really know them as sort of competitive fixtures.
Because you have to remember Mark Smith lived in Hitchin.
Yeah.
So it was like a hometown for him and everything like that. So we, it was like really hard. And obviously, Mark didn't want to lose because when on the Saturday, on Sunday, he'd go back home and he's going to get the banter about it. So those are the games where like we have to play. We really dug in. But when it comes to the local derbies, you know how strong it is. So we made sure that we had to win those games and things like that. Even like Paul would say to us, forget about it, it's a local derby. Every game must win.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the derby, we were up for it every time.
And of course, another major derby that the club had over the years was Woking as well.
Woking, yeah.
But that would have been a different level of experience to play in a Woking Stevenage game as well.
Yeah. Woking was always on the top. They were always there. They had, was it Clive? Clive Walker, is it?
Yeah, Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was there for ages, and they had some real good players. But he always liked to score against us and everything. So we were like, this time we can't do them. Games like that where we enjoyed them, because you have to remember that it's not like now, right? It was twice a week we trained.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the time we have fun with ourselves, really enjoying the banter with all the players. Mm-hmm. Because the next time we're going to see is like on the next Tuesday.
Yeah.
For only what 2 hours, 3 hours, we have to go back home. Mm-hmm. So we cherished every moment that we played away games and everything like that.
And of course, Woking Stevenage has got some great memories as well over the years. From different memories of wins and
wins and loses,
big moments. Yeah. Excuse me. But in your final season, you also played against St Albans as well, and another local derby. And of course, that was the season where we went on the FA Cup run as well. And of course, that resulted in the game against Birmingham as well. And that was very much, it was a away game. It was at Birmingham, but it was treated as a home game for Stevenage, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did play. We played Leighton Orient, didn't we? In the cup game first.
On the way to it, yeah.
On the way to it, yeah. Peter Shilton was in goal, wasn't he?
That's right.
Yeah. Oh no, those games were unbelievable. But obviously, when we had the Birmingham game, it was live on BBC, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was very much one of those games where, as I said, it was. It was in Birmingham, but it was treated as a home game for Stevenage. With the amount of
I think I made a mistake for one of the goals. I think it was the first or second goal I made a mistake for. Right? But in general terms, it was a battle, because it was Steve Bruce and Gary Ablett. Then we had Kevin Francis. Was it Kevin Francis? Yeah. So they had great players then, So, but Stevenage, we held our ground. Yeah.
And that was a great day, of course, that kind of set the club up nicely, put Stevenage on the map a little bit on the back of the, promotion as well. And then, in years, just about 2 years after that, 1 or 2 years after that, we had the FA Cup against Newcastle as well. And then, I came to that game. I came to that Newcastle game to watch and everything. Yeah, it was great because obviously, as you said, it put Stevenage on the map big time because of the way we performed, against that game in the FA Cup and everything. Listen, it was good for everybody. Every player that was at Stevenage, the staffs, the manager. It does to show how good it was organised. Mm-hmm. The way all the club was run, and I'm happy with the way it was. And of course, in total, you made 116 appearances for Boro as well, and of course, that meant that you were very much a mainstay in that side. And you know, that was that your first club in England as well at Stevenage? It was, wasn't it?
Yes, if you to signed up for, yeah, because remember, because I did go with Millwall, and I played some friendly games for Millwall.
Right.
Same type thing with Wimbledon. But when you talk about a full season,
yeah,
right, that was it was Stevenage, yeah.
And of course, you know, to go on and to have 3 very, very strong seasons there, you know, getting to an FA Cup, major game in an FA Cup, and winning a league as well. And to go on and to make so many appearances, that's, you know, surely going to fill you with quite a lot of pride when you look back on your early days as a player.
Oh, listen, when people speak to me about, say, oh, because there are some people say, oh, you've been about for a long time and everything. I always say to them, yeah, I started from Stevenage, because you know, some people, they didn't know that, but I would tell them, no. Everything started from Stevenage.
Yeah.
You know, and it really started from Stevenage. We couldn't go, we got the promotion, but we couldn't go on. So when I tell people about stories, and they're like, wow, so you're at Stevenage. And yeah, I was big time of the team, because as you said, the 116 games. I think, was it 10 goals or something like that?
9 or 10 goals, yeah.
For the whole time, yeah, because I know me and Mark were always challenging each other, because Mark scored so many goals as well, you know. So we always kept on the challenging, because I think the season that we got the promotion, I think I got 9 goals that season, something like that.
You got quite a few goals within that season, yeah. And you know, of course, you know, going on and making over 100 appearances for the club as well, and of course, upon signing for the club, you had to wait for international clearance as well to go through before you could actually play in a competitive game. And you know, that meant that obviously you were only involved in friendlies and sort of reserve games and things like that. But you know, that waiting game, was that a little bit frustrating at all?
Yeah, it was, because obviously I trained and everything. It was very, very frustrating. But as they say, best time comes when you know, you never know, the best time come, and it came. And I was very happy that I wore the Stevenage shirt.
Absolutely, and we're very happy to have had you as well. And then, of course, you know, upon leaving Stevenage, you went on to become a successful league player. You know, Macclesfield, also, you know, the likes of Southend and Crewe and Huddersfield, Bury as well, as you mentioned before, and then going back to Macclesfield as well towards the end of your career there. As you know, people that watch this video, when I upload the video, will see that you've got the Macclesfield picture up behind you as well, which is the first goal in the Football League for Macclesfield as well. And you know, that's going to be, you know, a great moment for you as a player, no doubt, to go on and, you know, get your first goal in the Football League.
Yeah, obviously, when I left Stevenage, Simon McRae, obviously he liked what I did when I came, so he came in for me for with Macclesfield, and I think the first, when I signed for Macclesfield, no, before I signed for Macclesfield, we had to go for what is it called, a tribunal.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, we went for a tribunal, because I think Stevenage was asking for more money than
over your transfer fee, right? Yeah,
over the transfer fee. But then obviously, I think both clubs didn't agree to accept it. Then they had to go for a tribunal.
Right.
I think the tribunals, Macclesfield got 40,000 from it, from the tribunal. Then I had to go. Then I went to Macclesfield, and it was great, because obviously first league club, as you said, and I remember the first 3 matches, the first 3 friendly matches that Macclesfield were playing. I didn't play, so a lot of fans were complaining, why am I not playing? Then obviously Sammy McRae knew what he was doing. Then we played against Hibs in the friendly match before the first game was against Turkey, and we played, and I scored the first league goal, and that was history from there, you know. Because at that time, obviously when I came from Nigeria, I didn't really know much about the English football, about the English history that they, you know. So when I scored the first league goal and we won, after the game, the secretary, Diane, she just came up to me. She said, "Do you know what you have done?" And I was like, "No." She said, "Yeah, you scored the first league goal." And I didn't get it.
You wasn't,
right? I didn't get it that time. And I was thinking, it's all right. She said, "No, it's not all right. You do not understand
it's a
what
big
you have done
for the club."
It's big. She said, later on, you will understand what it really means and everything like that. Then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And that was, but obviously, that same season, Marcus, we got promotion.
Yeah.
You know, so we got promotion. So they were like, oh my God, you know, you come first league go and we got promotion, and it was crazy. It was really, really good. Then obviously I left Marcus to Luton.
Yeah.
You know, so when I went to Luton, that was another it's like more like another derby against Stevenage.
Again. Yeah.
Yeah, but we couldn't play against them because they were not in the league then at that moment. So I played about 19, 20 games for Luton because Lenny Lawrence was the manager then. Then I left Luton to Colchester.
Okay, yeah.
Right. Then I played for some few games. Then that's when Crewe came in for me. Yeah. So then from the Colchester, that's when I went to Crewe.
Yeah.
And played. I was there for 4 years, and obviously people always ask which was the best club and everything like. But I had to say to them, everybody, that every club I played for was the best because all the clubs I played for, I got promotion with all of them.
Yeah.
You know, so when I was at Stevenage, I got promotion. When I was at Macclesfield, I got promotion. I was at Luton for a year, but I didn't get a promotion there. Then when I went to Crewe, right, 4 years, I got promotion, and then the same Crewe was another good thing for my prime time because at the end of the day, that's where I played, and I got to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
From Crewe, then I left Crewe to Huddersfield.
What league were Crewe in at that time? Because obviously to go to a World Cup in 2002, but Crewe, were they League One, Championship? What sort of league were they in?
We were Championship.
Championship, right?
Yeah. We're in the Championship. Everything. Yeah, we were the Championship. It was good. Obviously, that then the clubs that we were playing were real big good clubs and everything. But we had all that, like the Dynasty and everybody, Rob Holes, you know, so Kenny Lont. So we had Rodney Jack. So it was a very Championship then was really tough.
Yeah.
You know, and so moving to them, enjoyed it. Then obviously everybody wants to play for their country, you know. So got the call up, and I was like, okay, it's time to go and show again. The
pressure is
always
of course. In that World Cup as well, as I was saying to you off stream, you come up against England side that included the likes of Michael Owen and David Beckham, and I think Paul Scholes was in there. Of course, Teddy Sheringham was in there as well. And of course, Teddy Sheringham later on went on to manage Stevenage just a couple of years back. Yeah.
We had even what's his name was there playing. I think that time was when Owen Heskey was on form in the league. So both of them that played. And funny enough, I played that game was I played right back.
Yeah.
Right, and that was the first time I've ever played right back.
Oh wow! Okay.
I never played right back before, so I think Nigeria had they got defenders in, but they were more centre defenders, and we had a friendly match when they were doing the call ups for the camp.
Yeah.
And they just said, "Oh, we played Paraguay in a friendly match, and the right back they had wasn't that good, so they asked me to come on. So when I came on, the coach was like, "Okay, that's it. I've got my right back now." Because obviously Paraguay then they had real good players, and that's when what's his name? He was just young then. Santa Cruz?
Oh, Rocky Santa Cruz. Yeah.
Because his dad was the manager for Paraguay then was Mardini's father.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously we played against them and everything. I came on after 20 minutes, and that was it. I knew I was going to go to the World Cup from after that game.
And in that Nigerian side as well, there were some really good players. Of course, Kanu was in there. Of course, JJ Okocha was in there. Taribo West was in there at centre back as well. Some really top draw players.
Yeah. Yobo was in the squad, but
Joe Yobo. Yeah.
He was on the bench. He was on the bench then. He was young then. We had Julius Agawa, right? We had that. What was his name? We had Obeche. Babayaro.
Oh yeah, the old Chelsea left back. Yeah.
So the squad was really, really good. Very, very strong squad. Yeah.
And of course, coming up against Argentina as well, another big nation, and they had some really top draw strikers. I think they had Batistuta in their side, didn't they? One of their strikers, and I think maybe Crespo as well. Yeah,
Crespo was on the bench. Batistuta started. Yeah, it was Batistuta with Ortega.
And actually, right? I think did they have Pochettino and Simeone in the side as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Ayala, Pochettino, Simone. Yeah, they had Veron.
yeah.
Yeah, Veron was on it. They had a very strong side, but we got knocked out, both of us. So it wasn't good.
But then, of course, that's still great to obviously go to a World Cup and represent your country there against two major nations in the world of football as well. And just coming on to the next question, really, of course, you started it all off at the Sodjes at Stevenage, and then of course Sam and Akpo both also played for the club as well. And did you kind of give them any advice or kind of talk to them much upon hearing about them maybe signing for the club?
No, listen, they're my younger brothers. They always, they looked up to me, and obviously they wanted to, do my way. So obviously, I know they played for Margate and small clubs like that, but for Fekov was still the manager then,
Yeah.
right? And Paul was like, Efe, I was like, yep, I know. And I was happy that they had to go to Stevenage. So they all played for, they played for Stevenage, and they had a great time. They, sometimes they always say, oh. They always enjoyed it. They always enjoyed it.
And of course, it's great to have a couple of the Sodjes in there as well. And of course, there's how many is there in total that play? Is there 5 that play or 6 that play?
Then we were 2 of my brothers. Then I had three of my brothers.
Yeah.
Then I had a nephew. Then I had a nephew that played.
Onome, yeah.
Onome, yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Then obviously Onome, everybody's retired now. Then but I still have a nephew now at the moment. He plays for City.
Okay.
Yeah, because my brother that played rugby is his son.
Okay, right.
Right, so he's at City now at the moment. He's on the 17s. Well, on the 17-18s, yeah. But he's a striker.
That's great as well, though, to have somebody playing. Hopefully you can go on and make it at such a an elite level. That would be great to see. Yeah.
No. He will make it. He knows he's under pressure. He has to make it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Especially when he's at City now. But he was the highest goal scorer for City for the under 18s.
Okay.
And it was the 4th highest goal scorer in the under 18s Premier League.
Oh, so he's already making a name for himself then.
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. Yeah.
But then that's hopefully we can see quite a bit of him in the next few years and years coming up.
Oh yeah, he's coming up. Then my son will come up. My son will take over after him again.
Okay, and then in regards to Stevenage, now we were talking about it before, and have you been able to see much about the club rise up the league? We touched on it before, and of course, the club were kept in the Football League as well, and unfortunately that meant that Macclesfield dropped out. But what have you made of Stevenage over the recent years, especially when they went up to League One and were on the verge of the Championship as well?
Oh no! Listen, that was amazing. When you have a club and you take it like as your family, because it was like family, the club itself. And that's why when we first started talking, I was talking about Clive, and so that's it. Because I think Clive is the only last member that I think I will know. Is it Phil Wallace?
Yeah, Clive and Phil. They're just the chairman and Clive. Yeah.
So that's to tell you how it is. So, but I think everybody else will be new. But they've done amazing, and so I always watch and follow the club and see how they progress. As you said, they got to League One. It was, for me, it's like that's my club. That was my club, and I've not spoken to Clive for the last year now, but
No.
I always speak to Clive. I always phone him up and ring him up. And some people say, I was just say, can I speak to Clive? And they're like, he's busy. I said, no, he's not busy. Don't say Efe, And so then I had his straight direct line. Clive was a great man.
And of course, that's great that, obviously Stevenage, have always been very much, sort of a family club and a community-based club as well. And, I'm sure no doubt you would have seen the work that was going on through the pandemic with Stevenage, coming out into the local area and delivering sandwiches and picking up medication and prescriptions and things like that. And that's fantastic, isn't it? To see a club, go that far over and sort of be on board. Yeah.
You have to remember something that Stevenage has always been like that. They've always been with the community, and that's one thing Paul Fairclough always pushed to do. He always pushed it. So we always had to go. I lived in London.
Yeah.
And I was always getting invited to go to schools late in the night, or listen, it was crazy. I had to come all the way from London to go and do presentations, then run back, then go back home, and then the mobiles wasn't there. It was a phone box, phone booth, and all that. But when I had to travel to London, I do these presentations, and the time of the presentation was sometimes it was running late, and I can't be rude to leave. But I always had to try and catch the last train because I wasn't driving then.
Yeah.
So I had to get the last train on the train from Stevenage back into London, right? Then what I used to do. It was there was one time I had to go. I came for a presentation for some kids.
Yeah.
And it ran over time.
Okay.
And I was like, but I managed to get the last train.
Oh, I bet that was a mad rush though. I bet you had to run to get there or something
Listen, I ran like a crazy guy to get to the station. Got the last train, and but when everything was delayed, I got the last train. Then I got to Blackfriars in London, and all the Blackfriars to Elephant and Castle. That line was closed down, so I had to walk.
Oh wow!
From Blackfriars all the way to Elephant and Castle.
Yeah.
To get a train from Elephant and Castle to Catford, where I lived.
Yeah.
But I had to walk over the bridge. So when I was walking, and that was I don't know if you're going to talk about the racism during this interview, because then I was walking, and you get the black cabs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
yeah.
I wasn't just walking. I was in a suit, dressed up, and everything like that. I can literally tell you, more than 7 black cabs, right, went by, and I put my arm out. Not one stopped.
Oh wow! And that's
not one stopped. Then the luck I had was there was a black cab that was going the other direction, right? He turned round, and funny enough, it was a black guy that was a taxi driver. And I said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I need to get home." And I fly. And I said, he said, "There's no way anybody's going to stop for you, because you're black."
But that's it. That's it's so sad that is the way of the world, and that's how people see it. And that kind of I wasn't going to bring it up, but then obviously you brought it up there in regards to the racism yourself, and to have that on the back of the Euro final as well with Bukayo Saka and Rashford and Jadon Sancho. It's still, very much right at the forefront of the game, and it needs to be stamped out now, doesn't it? We've really got to do something about it now.
But, do you know what? It's never when people say, "Oh," because a lot of people were denying it that it's not in the game. It's not in the game, right? It's been in the game for years, even before I came to this country, right? It's been in the game, right? And it was only when I came into this country I got to know about racism.
Yeah.
Right, and because back in Nigeria, we had a lot of white people. There was no racism. Everybody in Nigeria was like, "Hey, okay, yeah, different color, but it's hi, how are you? Are you okay?" They'll always make sure that you're fine.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. So, but coming here, right, gradually, I was like, "Whoa!" It was really getting, and I was trying to think, what is wrong? What is wrong? Then we started getting to the fact about it, and I was like, "Okay, now we know what it was like." And you have to remember. Stevenage, when we were playing, we had about 9 black boys in the Stevenage, remember?
Yeah, there was quite a few. Yeah, there was quite a lot. Yeah.
We were a lot, which was fine. And Stevenage was like, they didn't care. Stevenage was like, black or no black, we're a community.
That's right, and that's what it should be like. It should be based about the community or based on the individual. If you're a fantastic player or a player that is capable of moving up through the leagues, it shouldn't matter. It really just shouldn't matter.
It is sad, especially as you mentioned with the Euros finals, right? Yeah. It was really sad, and I was at home, and my son, obviously, he's mixed, and he's 8, right. And I never didn't want to talk to him about it, right? then it was it was after that game. He was now saying, what is this? What is this? And everything. And I was thinking, nah, how am I going to explain to him? Right? Then I explained it to him, right? And he was like, so for his mind, right? He doesn't think it's like, how will I put it? Black and white, because his mom's white.
Right, okay.
Right? So if I say to him, oh, you know, you're black, right? Listen to this. He'll like, no, I'm just cream color.
Right, okay.
Okay? So for his mind, because he knows I'm darker than him, so he was like, no, that he's just mixed.
Right, yeah.
Right? Then when he watched the finals, right, and he saw the reaction,
he
and
started
if you
to
notice,
understand it and ask the questions,
then he started asking the question.
Yeah.
Then he now then he said because obviously he reads and you know when they were talking and he listens to the radio and the news.
Yeah.
So when he was talking about, then he now asked that question to say, so Daddy, I am black, and the reason why he said that was because he's the same complexion with Sancho.
Okay, right.
Because Sancho's mixed.
Yeah.
Right. So that's when he now, right. Then that's when he now thought, all right. So because Rashford is dark like me, Saka's dark like me, but Rancho was like, and that's when he now starts saying, oh, okay, I am black.
Yeah.
So it's not like that. So I played it down for him, but he understands now.
Right. Okay. And that's, you know, we said it there. It's something that, you know, really has to be stamped out of the game, and you know they've really just got to do, you know, everything that they can now to, you know, make sure that you know there's no more of this now. You know, as I said before, it's all about the equality factor, and also, you know, it's about how good the player is as a, you know, the person is as a player, or you know how that person can develop. You know, it shouldn't matter. It should be about just, you know, who they are and what they're about as a person, rather than, you know, what color skin they've got.
Yeah, but listen. If they had, I can tell you now, this is it. Even if they scored and they won the game for England, I can tell you now, they will even slaughter them more. You know, they will slaughter them more. So there's nothing that you can do. And people always talk about the racism. Let's be honest, it starts from the top.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Right? It starts from the top. People say, "Oh no, they need more people on the top level." They're not gonna open the doors for them.
Nah. Yeah.
How many directors are there? How many black people are there to say that they have the final say to control something?
And that's 100%. Because when you look at that, obviously there isn't hardly any or any that I can think of right now, and it's the same with managers as well.
Oh, it goes down. In fact, from the FA, look at the FA. Let's take a look at the whole England side, right? The whole England under 18, 16, 17. How many black coaches are there?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there's.
But even if there are black coaches, are they the main coach?
Okay,
no, they're not.
No, that's right. They're more sort of in the background. Yeah.
There is either the assistant or a coach. Yeah. But it's not there like, okay, I am in control of this team. It's like, I know the under 21s recently when Boothroyd left there, it was Justin Cochran that was the number one runner up for that.
Yeah.
Right? Then all of a sudden, he's no more there. He left. I know he went to Man United, but there were other black people there. Then all of a sudden, who comes in? It's a white person. I'm not racist, but he's a white person. But we have so many black coaches that are there. Why can't they give them that opportunity?
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, hopefully, one day in the near future, that's something that will change. That's something that really does need to change about the game. But we'll just have to see,
they've been saying that for the last 60 years.
That's what I mean.
Right. Yeah, so it's not about it's from the top. It's from the top of the table. It's like, because I know when the FA chairman made his comments and he had to resign.
Yeah.
Right. What's his name? The new guy that was supposed to come in was supposed to be black, but obviously they put a woman, didn't they? Yeah, I have nothing against the woman's side, but where is that balance?
Yeah, I have to agree with
that. So the FA should look at themselves.
Yeah, now I've got to agree with that as well. And we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully, as I said, it's something that we do see more of, and hopefully, once it's one or two have been introduced into the game or been given that opportunity, then you'll see that rise. But we'll just have to see it. As you say, it's been so long. So yeah.
No, but when you think about it, when they say introduced to the game, we had Chris Houghton. He was the manager of Brighton, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right. He didn't. Brighton didn't go down.
No.
But they sacked him. Right. But if you want to talk about in general, the best one was Darren Moore. That was at West Brom.
Yes, he didn't get very long at all, did he? Yeah.
Okay, he didn't have enough time, but guess what? They sacked him on the basis he was fourth in the table.
Yeah.
Right. But why did they sack him?
That's it. That's West Brom. West Brom being fourth in the table. That's massively overachieving for a club of their.
Why are you going to sack him? Why are you going to sack a manager? So if that so then come on, you think about it. If it was a white guy, they're going to make sure that they're going to they're going to say give him time. But they're not giving anybody time.
No, not at all. But you were saying there that they were fourth in the table, and that's somebody like West Brom.
They're fourth in the table. Are you going to? They're fourth in the table. Yeah, you're going to sack somebody like that.
It's West Brom as well. You have to look at who it is as a club. It's not like it's Arsenal or Chelsea or for West Brom. Like West Brom now were Championship. They obviously just got relegated.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So but it's not when you say it's going to happen. We're going to fight as much as we can do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Then the country should look at themselves because everybody's kneeling down and people are booing it to say what for. So when you look at when you say it will be kicked out. Nah, it's not really kicked out.
Nah, that's what I'm saying.
Until the people upstairs are going to decide to say, okay, you know what, let them admit it.
Yeah.
Then we'll go on.
All right. Well, we'll move on from that now as well. The subject of racism there, but it's a massive subject, and let's see what gets done about it, and hopefully, as I say, it's been as you said as well, it's been 60 years. So we'll see what happens, and just fingers crossed they actually pull their finger out and actually start to do something about it, because it is long overdue anyway.
Crazy.
So we'll touch on the next comment now, and that's pretty much the final one, really. And in regards to your time at Stevenage, what was it about the Stevenage fans as well? What was your sort of relationship like with the Boro fans?
Well, for me, I always thought I had a good relationship with them because I did a lot. I was always available to talk to people, and for me to go, even though I never lived in Stevenage, I always come from London to do a lot of things, to do with the community and the fans. For me, I thought, I don't know if they liked me. Of course they did, but I enjoyed myself at the club. If I did enjoy myself playing 100 and something games, that was real big, because then to play 100 and something games is not easy, right? I got promotion with them, so I take Stevenage as one of my family clubs. Yeah. Even though I played all the clubs I played for, I got promotion, so I always was good with the community and the players, the staff members. So I've always enjoyed Stevenage, the train rides and everything, because obviously I was coming with Barry all the time. Then before we started driving up to Stevenage, our training, I know we trained on the Tuesday. On the Thursday, we always Thursday was our treat day, which was because we always had pizza.
Okay, yeah.
On a Thursday, the club would bring the pizzas and everything like that. So it was because the pizzas will always be delivered. I think is it 10 minutes before the training is over, before the training is finished and everything. Right. So we used to get sometimes we used to just get ourselves to say we're injured, so we can run in to go and get the best pizzas and everything. It was crazy, man. It was crazy, yeah.
But that's great, that you've got all of those memories, and then obviously that set you up nicely to go on in the game and to be successful in the Football League and internationally as well. So we're going to wrap it up there, Efe, but thank you very much for taking some time out this evening, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Obviously, you kind of briefly mentioned about a potential something in the future, so hopefully there's something in the pipeline, and we'll get to see you play at the Lamex or Porto Way again soon.
Well, yeah, I hope so. Then I hope the fans don't boo me.
Not at all, mate. We'll give you a massive round of applause and a big cheer, mate. We'll make sure we do.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thanks a lot, mate.
Okay, God bless.
Bye-bye.